So a big death in episode 2, and not necessarily because it's a main character, but because of the whole situation of who he is, who killed him, and what it could mean for Kanan going forward. D-Wiz was someone who was loyal to Kanan and down with him till the very end, and it's a stark reminder for him that there are no happy endings. When you enter the world that Kanan's about to enter, you either end up dead or in jail, and the universe of Power Book 3 raising Kanan is going to be the most ruthless and unforgiving. But in this video we're going to dissect whether Kanan will learn the truth about what happened with D-Wiz and Jukebox's role as well. But if you are new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 3 related over the coming months. But let's talk about the fallout from D-Wiz's death, because there are two parts to this, one from Kanan and the Thomas family's side, and one from Detective Howard, because he also warned Unique that he can't have any more bodies dropping, so we're going to look at both angles. But of course we're going to look at the angle from the Thomas family and Kanan first, and we've spoken about the death of D-Wiz and Lulu's role in the kill, but we haven't spoken about whether Kanan would find out that Lulu was the one who killed his best friend. Now a sacrifice needed to be made, and Raquel was ruthless in her decision making. She's someone who's ice cold when it comes to making a decision, and when she's made up her mind she follows it through. We saw how when she was disrespected by Tony, she microwaved her dog, so when it comes to picking either D-Wiz or her son, it was an easy choice for Raquel to make. But will Kanan find out that it was Lulu who was the one who killed D-Wiz, because Kanan's close with his family, more so Marvin, which I'm going to come to later on in the video. But how is this going to impact Kanan's relationship with his uncle Lulu? Because Kanan once told Tariq in Power that you ain't a real killer till you kill someone you love, and later on down the line we'll see Kanan kill that person that he loves, whoever it could be. It may not necessarily be Lulu, it could even be Davina who Kanan kills after she betrays him, for example. But my personal opinion is I can definitely see Kanan killing Lulu in a future season. Even though Lulu is his uncle and his family, I just think the death of D-Wiz will stick, and he's never going to let it go. I could be wrong of course, and the person that he kills that he loves could well be Davina. Now in episode 3's trailer we hear Davina questioning Kanan. She wants to know the truth about what happened with Buck and if D-Wiz was the one who really shot Buck, because Davina knows the streets and she knows how to even throw her hands. She's not going to get the answers she wants from Kanan because he's going to lie, and he's going to lie in a way where he doesn't connect himself to the scene or D-Wiz in any way, which could cause suspicion from Davina. And we saw Kanan lie multiple times during Power, and if you're wondering how he got so good at lying, then this is where it starts for Kanan. He's going to have to lie plenty more times as the series goes on, and there is going to be another moment where Kanan has to lie with Detective Howard, which I'm going to come to in the second part of the video. But as Kanan lies and Davina's not finding out the answers she wants from him, that could well push her and seek answers from possibly Unique, and this is where Unique could really start to move against Rack, because Detective Howard has made it clear that he only wants one king in the kingdom, and he's going to help Unique take the throne. So how Unique and Davina work together we'll have to wait and see, but she's definitely someone who's going to get darker as time goes on, and I really wouldn't be surprised to see her and Jukebox clashing at some point. And I really want to see Jukebox versus Davina, because we haven't seen this hard and rough side that Jukebox possesses just yet. I think we could see it next week, but Juke versus Davina is something I definitely want to see in the future. But coming back to whoever Kanan kills that he loves, it's definitely going to be a big death in the Power universe and a big kill for Kanan himself. But I think it's going to be a while before we see this being played out, because we have to see Kanan actually getting his first kill and making the call to Jukebox when he does. Now Jukebox ironically was one person that Kanan killed that he loved. That shit went down in Power, and for the moment the way we've seen their relationship being portrayed in Power Book 3 raising Kanan, it doesn't really make sense that he'd choose Ghost's son over Juke, especially after Ghost sent him to prison. But as time goes on maybe it will make more and more sense. But speaking of Jukebox, I wonder whether she's actually going to tell Kanan that D-Wiz got into Lulu's car, because she came off the bus and saw D-Wiz go off with Lulu, and when she finds out that D-Wiz is dead she's going to put two and two together, and I think Juke will tell Kanan. They've shown us that they've got a real close bond in a relationship, with Juke telling Kanan that she fucks with girls and she's been out with Nicole, and how Juke was worried about Kanan after the drive-by shootout scene. Now Juke really cares about Kanan, and the only people that she can really confide in at the moment is Kanan and Raquel, just like we saw in the episode 3 promo for the next episode Stick and Move. Now I'm sure we'll see them confide in each other again next week, and I'm sure Juke is going to tell D-Wiz all about Lulu being the one responsible for his death. Now I also wonder how Kanan's going to react with his moms in this situation as well, because Rack was the one who made the call to sacrifice D-Wiz for Kanan. Earlier on in the episode, Rack said to Kanan that she bumped into Famous and Derek, and he said that his big brother was back home from prison. Now Rack knew that D-Wiz was the one who got the guns that they used on Buck 20, and she said that she knows his brother and described him as a wild boy, and it just raises the question of whether Rack knows who D-Wiz's brother is, because it certainly seems like she does. And I just wonder what Raquel's play is now, because I'm sure she'll expect some response to killing D-Wiz, because now she could be well under attack from two angles, D-Wiz's brother and Unique's crew. Now I actually don't think we'll see D-Wiz's brother for a while anyway. I think that storyline they're going to come back to later on in the season, or possibly even next season, because D-Wiz mentioned that his brother disappears a lot, so he may not even be around to know that his brother has been killed yet. But when he does find out, you can bet he's going to want some answers, and he's going to come calling. And this whole scenario and situation surrounding D-Wiz's death and D-Wiz's brother sets up a really interesting storyline and plot to come, besides everything else that's going on and the mystery surrounding who D-Wiz's brother really is. So I'm looking forward to all of that going down when it does. Now this second part of the video, we're going to talk about Detective Howard, because one thing we should expect in the coming episode is Detective Howard is going to be on a crazy power trip. In the trailer he said every cop and criminal in the city knows that Malcolm Howard holds it the fuck down, and he made it clear to Unique that he can't have any more kids dropping in the streets. And now that one has, he's going to be on a power trip to try and bring order and control back to the streets. He's someone who likes to have control over the streets, and when he doesn't, I think we're going to see this other side to him, this dark side that we haven't seen yet, because they still haven't explored his full character just yet, and he's the only person from law enforcement that has access to people like Unique and Rack, and that can really reason with them to bring control over the streets. He's someone that seems to like power, and he knows just having one person running the streets benefits him. But we're going to see him question Kanan, and I don't know whether this scene is from episode 3, but I'm just using logic, and it only makes sense that Kanan would be called in for questioning because his best friend is dead. Now we see Kanan looking real disinterested, and we know he has no love for law enforcement. He took 5 cops down with him on his way out in power, and I doubt he's going to be too fond of Detective Howard either, especially because he's on Unique's side and he's going to be causing some problems for Raquel. We know there's some history there between Raquel and Howard, but I doubt Kanan knows the full extent to what their past is, because we don't even know ourselves. Now a lot has been said about Howard being Kanan's father, and it's just speculation for now, so hopefully this scene is from next week's episode, because I want to see Howard and Kanan. I want to see how this conversation goes down, which is most likely to be about D-Wiz's death and another situation where Kanan is going to have to lie again. But Detective Howard is going to be on a crazy power trip after first the death of Buck and now the death of D-Wiz. He's going to want some answers, but he's definitely not going to get them from Kanan. It actually looks like he's chasing a black Mercedes in episode 3's trailer, and we all know who owns a black Mercedes. But in typical power fashion, the car that's being smashed into by a cop car is a complete different car and not Unique's Mercedes. So what's going on with Detective Howard and Burke in the next episode, and why they're chasing whoever they're chasing, we'll have to wait and see. But this whole scenario with Kanan, Lulu and Jukebox, I'm sure this is something that will partly play out in next week's episode, because he'll have to find out at some point that Lulu was the one to kill D-Wiz, and whether Juke tells him that he saw D-Wiz with Lulu, I'm sure we'll see it play out in the next few episodes. I think this is something that will push Kanan and Marvin closer together as well, because both of them will feel like they're not being treated fairly by Rack and Lulu, and this is something I'm going to go through in tomorrow's video, which will all be about Marvin and his relationship with his siblings, and why Marvin could find himself in Raquel's bad books. But let me know what you guys think. Will Juke tell Kanan that she saw D-Wiz with Lulu, and who's the person that Kanan killed that he loved? Could it genuinely be Lulu, Davina or someone else? After the D-Wiz kill, I can honestly see it being Lulu, but let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. And of course, if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Universe related over the coming months. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.